Hello, this is CurtisCroweThePhotoPro here with another basic Lightroom tutorial for you. Today we're going to talk about exposure. What is exposure? Exposure is the elements between white and black in which make up the image. It's the details, it's the composition, it's everything that we can see inside the photo because it is exposed. But today we're going to cover how we can change exposure in Lightroom. Now, what we have here is an overly dark image. Now, even without looking at the histogram, you can tell this image is too dark and it needs to be brightened. Now, there's a few details I want you to pay attention to that will help your photos in the future. So, what we have here is a couple. More importantly, it's an interracial couple. There's nothing wrong with interracial couples, but there is a large tone difference between a Caucasian and an African American, which can sometimes affect the balance between light and darkness in a photo. So we want to make sure that they're both properly exposed, because if you expose properly for the darker skin, sometimes the white skin becomes overexposed and blown out, where if you expose properly for the lighter complected person, then the black skin or darker skin becomes underexposed and looks way too dark. So to get started, we are going to up the exposure a bit. Now you want to be careful because, as you can tell, a lot of the blacks, as we go higher and higher and higher, are turning more of a gray and is getting all kinds of artifacts and ISO grain. So as you can see all the grain on his pants and on his shirt, we are obviously overly exposed, as I was intending to be. So let's just bring it up a little bit. Let's see here. Let's go for a 2, because I like how her skin shows up under 2. And then we're going to do some darkening because, again, this is black, this is gray, and we want to make sure that they do show up black. But the important thing is, people that over darken the low tones in your photo, a lot of times will make it pitch black, and that causes problems because then there's no longer shape. And we want to retain that shape. So let's go ahead and darken. She still looks good. We're still seeing a lot of detail. There is a little brightness on the bottom. Let me see here. Up the shadows, because we want to still show that shape on the side of her body. Darken. And we're going to actually fix the grain issue a little bit, because I think that's going to affect how the pants look. So let's give that a try. That's looking better. That's looking definitely better the way I have it there. The only other thing is I want to try changing the smoothness here. So let's go ahead and change the smoothness of the color. Oh, I think that looks better. Let's try the other direction. Yeah, I don't think that looks as good. So we're going to go this way. Now his pants look a lot better. We're darkening the image. And now we want to make sure that we still also see the details in the white too. So we're going to bring this down a little bit so we can see it. We don't want to overexpose his shirt because then we don't see all the details and he becomes flat. So as you can tell, the image is already looking a lot better. We have shape in her body and we have shape in her clothes, and his pants are no longer all grainy and stuff like that from the ISO, trying to boost up his low lights in his pants. And I think that looks a lot better. You can play a little bit more with shadows if you want. For your personal preference, you might like it brighter, you might like it darker. But it's very important, as I said earlier, to keep the shape of the people that you're taking the photo of, because otherwise they look like floating heads on top of black clothing or whatever it might be. So I hope this was useful for you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video, what you'd like to see in the next video. This has been Curtis Crowe, the Photo Pro. Toodles.